Hating hoes ain't happy, and happy hoes ain't hating. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? So today we're going to be doing our Basketball Wives review. It actually came on Sunday night, which I was surprised about. I didn't even know it was going to come on. So I'm wondering if it's also going to come on tonight, which is Monday. But I guess I got to check my DVR for the listings to see what's coming on, what's recording. And of course, we're going to be doing Love and Hip Hop. That's going to be on my other channel. I'm thinking about, I don't usually do Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but I don't know. I might just go ahead and do it this time around because I got a little more time on my hands, but we'll see. We'll see. I might. That's usually like my chill period is when that Hollywood, because I'm not really too fancy for the people that's on there. Like I don't really care about them that much. K Michelle's gonna be on there. I mean, we already know what she's gonna talk about. So anyway, let's get into this, okay? What happens? We start off with, of course, Tammy and Evelyn. They were still talking about the Chad Ochocinco situation. You know, the whole domestic violence incident that occurred a few years ago. And Evelyn, she seemed like she was still defending herself, but she seemed pretty upset about the situation, you know? And, hold on a sec. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to make sure I get something here. Okay. So, from that, Evelyn, she said that she would never, like, when Tammy finally left, she was just like, she would never say something like that about any of them. And I'm like, I don't know, Evelyn, because I know how you can be like, you can definitely try to cut somebody with your words sometimes. Like, she goes hard. So for her to say that she would never say something like that about somebody's situation, I don't know if I can fully believe it. Because a lot of times when, even like regular people, I mean, you get upset about something, and a lot of people, they tend to not think about what they're saying, or they just want to hurt somebody so badly that they don't think before they talk. That's why with certain people, like let's say my cousin or my boo thing, like I'll make sure that I think before I talk if I'm upset with them. Or I won't speak about it at that particular moment because I know something crazy is going to come out to this mouth. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to end these relationships. So I'm going to either wait, or I'm going to really, really think about the way I want to word whatever it is that I'm trying to say. So, but when you don't care about, when somebody's not that close to you, or you've already had a rift with them, you ain't really thinking about, oh, let me not talk about this because this is probably going to hurt her. So that's exactly what I feel like pretty much happened. Evelyn did feel like she was supposed to get some kind of apology from Tammy, but Tammy's like, you're not even my friend. You've already made it clear that that will never happen. So I don't feel like I owe you any type of apology. I gave my friend Shaunie an apology for this whole situation, and that's about where it kind of ends. I feel like Evelyn is being a little bit naive just for the fact that you're going hard on Tammy. Yeah, Tammy brought up the situation. She's not really innocent in the whole thing. But Jennifer is the main one that was trying to throw her into the fire. You know, yes, it was a while ago. Y'all was going back and forth, but still, she said it. There are receipts that shows that she said it. But you're like, oh, how she's the bestest friend to you. She's the closest. No, she probably just has the most time on her hands. Or she's trying to make sure she secures the bag because she sees that you're doing well. So now she wants to jump on that bandwagon. I don't know. I mean, she could have good intentions, but that's, for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if you could really trust her. Malasia and Jackie, they had met up at like a crystal shop, and I love these types of places. I actually have quite a few. I have a nice little, a little set, and then I have some extra ones that I bought when I went to a store similar to that. You know, also have the incense and things like that. So, and something that I definitely like to work with and stuff like that is the crystals and certain stones and things of that nature. Anyway, so they were in there, you know, kind of cleansing themselves, looking at things I guess that they could buy, or maybe just pretending for the camera so they could have something to do. And they kind of talk about the whole situation, and Malaysia's just like, she didn't know that Jennifer was... My lips is mad dry right now. I need to put some... I'm sorry, y'all. I need to put some chapstick. But I'll do it in a little bit after I'm done. In case y'all see the chap, y'all know why. So Malaysia, she was just like... She feels like now she knows who Jennifer really is, and she's like a demon, and she don't really play with demons like that. So she's definitely not going to be around her too much like that, and she's not really feeling her going forward. And she feels like perhaps the two of them should have just kind of duked it out, Evelyn and Tami, because the words that they were saying to each other was really hurtful. Evelyn, she ends up talking to Jennifer while Jennifer had came over to her house, and they were once again talking about the whole situation. And Evelyn, she's going to do like the Kardashians do and pretty much make something good out of a bad situation and make money off of it, or do some type of, I think she said like a fundraiser or something like that, some type of event she's going to be doing to kind of like turn this, what was said to her, into something good. I mean, hey, right? Do what you do, honey. Make money. Because, I mean, anybody else in this situation would have. I feel like that played a part in her going hard with the whole domestic violence situation, too, is because she knew that once you go through something, you can now become the advocate for it. You can now have fundraisers. You can now monetize it. I mean, it's so sad in this day and age, but it's like you kind of have to wonder sometimes what people's intentions are, and if their intentions are really good, or if they're doing something just to make money, you know? Kirsten and Cece, they have a sit down. It was with Jackie, Jennifer, Malaysia. It was all of them sitting down, and Cece, she mentioned how, well, before I even say that, it's crazy how the two of them have so much tension when it's almost like they're so closely, like they probably seen each other a lot. They probably knew each other pretty well, because, I mean, they're almost like related, you know, through kind of like in-laws in a sense. And it's crazy how they're having so much bad blood against each other and having so many problems. And I feel like Kirsten's, she's just so, she wants to be so much on the show. She wants to be so involved with the women that she's kind of pushing family to the back burner, and kind of, that's how I kind of see it, because I feel like Kirsten, she's doing way too much. I feel like, okay, yeah, you might have wanted Cece to stand up for herself or whatever, but I feel like the way she's approaching it is wrong. I know if that was my family member, somebody's going hard on my cousin, my sister, anything, like, I'm going to say what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they're not the type to go off at the mouth. So I'm going to be the type to go off at the mouth and say what I got to say on their behalf. It hasn't always been the best situation for me, because it got me into a lot of trouble growing up. But that's just how it's always been. And I feel like Kirsten, she could at least like say little things here and there to kind of help the girl out a bit, because obviously she's not the best as far as like having verbal altercations or reading somebody their rights. Like she's obviously not good with it. Cece had said something like she was just tired of Tweedledee and Tweedledum calling her dumb, and then here goes Jennifer, like, who you calling dumb? I'm just like, Jennifer, don't. Every time Jennifer tries to get like buck, it just be like, it just makes me mad, because I'm like, that's not you. Like, you're the person to call the cops. Like, don't even pretend. Just because she's a little more passive doesn't mean you can try to bully her, because you finally got somebody that you think you can get away with talking crazy to. Because you know, most of these women out here, even Shaunie, when she ready, you know, most of them out there, they're not going to let her talk crazy to them. Like, they would dead shut her down. And Shaunie, all she have to do is say, you're fired. Like, she don't even have to get crazy with anybody. You know, she could definitely maintain her poise and grace and just be like, you know what? Well, you're fired. Goodbye. So yeah, like, I feel like she's just taking advantage of that, because she knows that she feels that she can get away with a lot of things. She's like, yeah, I called you dumb. Oh, but because she's saying that you're Tweedledee and Tweedledummer, now you're offended, although you called her dumb. But it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay. Like, stuff like that is just like real pathetic to me. And Jennifer also brought up the fact that Kirsten told her, because Kirsten's getting all close to her. Kirsten told her that they were never really that close anyway. And it's just like, wow, you know? Even some of the other ladies, I think Jackie had mentioned, like, it seems like she's starting to let other people influence her and get in her head and kind of push family to the wayside, like I was saying. Jennifer, no, not Jennifer, it was Evelyn. Evelyn introduces us to her new friend. So I guess this friend, she doesn't have a lot of scenes, but she's going to be in there eventually. Her name is Michelle Game, and she was with a football player, she was with a football player. This girl's like a gym person just like her, so that's who she's able to do that with. So yeah, she went to like the event and stuff like that, so I guess we'll see a little more of her. I'm not really sure if we will or not, but I'm pretty sure we probably will. That's why we actually saw her name. Like when we see your name in that area, you know, at the bottom, we're probably going to see you a few times, you know. Tammy, she talks to OG, and they talk about the situation that happened, and OG's just like, you know, she's not really surprised because these women, they seem like they're not really happy. They have a lot going on in their lives. And she's the type of person that picks up off of energy. So that's why she hasn't really been trying to be around them. I'm definitely like that as well. Like, I don't like to be around certain energies. If I feel like your energy isn't pure, it's not good, then I don't want to be around you. I'm going to kind of separate myself from you. So that's kind of where I feel like, you know, I guess she's at with them, because I mean she's had some issues with them a few times that she's been around them. They do talk a little bit about like their love life and stuff like that, and OJ mentioned, of course, like we know that her boyfriend is overseas doing his thing. She kind of wants to move forward, and they do have little cracks in their relationship right now. So it was funny because Tammy was like, well, they need to correct whatever issues they have because they start to stray when you have weak links and ends and stuff like that. And that's when you end up with things like Evelyn and Kevin, which is her ex. So, I mean, that's definitely true, though, because if you're having problems, you're not really doing the darn thing or whatever, that leaves them open, especially when they have so many people swooning around them, and they're an athlete. People look at them like gods and things like that, especially in South America, I could imagine, you know? So I'm pretty sure he could be doing his thing. He doesn't see her for a large amount of time or whatever. So, and the way that he's talking, which I'll get to in a moment, it just kind of seems like his head ain't really there right now. Like, he's probably doing him. And she pretty much was saying, you know, like, that's how it happens because they're gods. People want them, and they're going to accept it a lot of times, especially if this girl looks mad good. You know what I'm saying? You got them Brazilian booties and all that. So that's kind of, but Tammy does ask her if she wants to do like a double date thing with her and Reggie and her man. So he did end up doing that. OG and Reggie, oh Lord. OG and Kwame and Reggie and Tammy, they meet up, have like a little double date, and they talk a little bit. He says that the way that they kind of got together was that she was like, oh, your hair looks nice. No, your hair needs to be redone. I'm like, girl, like, she's the last person to be telling somebody that their hair needs to be redone. Like, girl, do you see how your wigs be looking? I hope your wig wasn't looking like that when you told him that his hair needs to be redone. So she told him that, and he wasn't really thinking it was funny at the moment, but then she ended up liking his stuff on Instagram, and it kind of went from there. So I'm like, so y'all kind of started your relationship, like, after y'all actually saw each other, the relationship kind of twinkled on from Instagram then. So you kind of have to be careful with the whole Instagram, because if that's how he got you. And then she also mentioned, they asked him, like, oh, well, of course it was Tammy that asked, have you strayed outside a relationship? Have you cheated? And he was just kind of like, I feel like he didn't want to, like, answer the question. He was taking quite a bit to answer it. And she tried to save him by saying, well, it depends on your interpretation of cheating, because my interpretation of cheating is like anything. Like anything could be cheating to me. She was like, him with his Instagram and his DMs and stuff like that and liking pictures too many times could be cheating to me. And Tammy is just kind of looking at her like, you know, like, you really want to marry this guy? And you're looking through his DMs and, you know, you're talking about his likes and all that stuff. Like, it sounds kind of like he has a wandering eye. She's talking about he might leave inappropriate comments onto some picture. Like, that mean that his head really ain't in the game. Like, I feel like he's at a different place in life than where she is. And that's kind of what he said when Tammy was saying how she was thinking about getting married and she never thought she would want to. And Reggie said he wants to as well, but he never thought he would want to. Kwame was just like, well, right now, the way we at, nah, that's not what I'm thinking about right now. That's not where we at right now. And I'm just like, is she really listening to what he's saying? Like, do you hear? Are you just hearing him, or are you actually taking it in, listening to the words that are coming into his mouth? Because he's pretty much telling you that it's not going to happen anytime around right now. So if you're trying to move forward and have this child, etc., and move forward in life, you're either going to have to try to trap him by having... I know that's like absolutely horrible advice, but I mean, it's the truth. You're either going to have to try to trap him and just have his kid, because it doesn't look like he's proposed. I know you want to do it the right way, but he's not trying to move forward with any type of engagement right now from what he says. Like, it just sounds like he's Playboy status. Like, he's still doing his thing, like chilling. He's out with his boys, probably drinking, you know, just enjoying his young life and his career. And she's trying to move forward because her biological clock is ticking. So I just feel like they're two separate places, and she's not really, like, sometimes you want to hear what you want to hear, but you don't want to hear what people's really telling you, you know? And I feel like a lot of us, I mean, tend to fall into that trap. It's like, you just love this person so much, and you're just like blinded by, yeah, one day, but the day never comes because you've just been waiting so long. So now, moving on from that, there was a scene that they showed with Jennifer and Evelyn, where Jennifer mentioned something about, well, she was talking to Shaunie at first, but Shaunie ended up leaving because she ain't even trying to be in the same space with Jennifer. So when Jennifer comes, she was like, you know, Shaunie was here, but she left. She's not really trying to... Damn, the food thing is calling me out. Well, he's hitting me up on WhatsApp. So yeah, she was just like how she left because she ain't really trying to be around her right now. She's like, she tried, but she's like, it's okay because I got receipts, so this is gonna be something that's gonna come up. I'm like, so you still being messy? She's like, oh, she got text messages and this and that. So I don't know what she about to reveal, but evidently it's probably something pretty big that she wants to, that she's out here throwing the bones. You know, she didn't really say what it was, but she just said that she has things, and she's pretty much not going to kiss anybody's ass for them to be cool with her. Following that, the last thing that we pretty much saw was that... Sorry, y'all. I was trying to finish it up, but that was an important call, so I had to make sure that I got it because I knew they wasn't going to call back. Because I had to confirm something. Anyways, back to what we were saying. So Jackie and Tammy, they meet up, and of course Jackie, she wanted to kind of talk to her and find out more about like why she felt like it was okay to bring up the whole domestic violence situation. But Tammy, she reveals like a softer side of herself, and she tells her that she's been going through so much trying to get these girls' approval. Like, she doesn't even care anymore. She's just going to say whatever she wants to say. I mean, I feel like Tammy's always pretty much said what she wants to say, but I do feel like she's tried to do things to get their approval. They have always criticized her at some point when she was fat. Remember, she ended up getting liposuction because she felt like she was too fat. They would talk about her about that. They would talk about her hair. And now that she's skinny, I mean, even myself, I've said, like, wow, she's so thin now. Like, but I thought that she was just doing it because she wanted to be thin because she didn't want to be fat. But, I mean, now we learned a lot more about her. I mean, people shouldn't always have to tell you what is going on in their life that's changing their body. But I mean, I guess when you're in the public eye, that is something that people do wonder. They wonder if you're anorexic or what's going on with you. So she mentioned that she is diabetic. I know that she did mention when she was on, I think it was Wife Swap. I just so happened to be watching it, and her and Reggie was switching with another family. So that was a pretty interesting situation. But I did learn that she mentioned that she had a mini stroke. And that was probably like a year or two ago that I saw this episode. She had a mini stroke, and she was planning to kind of like change her life around to eat better, because they had so much junk food in the house as opposed to the other family that was eating really healthy. And they're like, why are you eating this stuff? And if your wife or if your girlfriend is doing so, her health isn't that good, like, why are you guys still eating this? You guys have to make a lifestyle change. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or whatever, because she was a little bit heavier at that time. But yeah, she said that this is how her body's responding to her eating differently. I mean, some people, they have fast metabolism, some people don't. Some people, you just eat good and it's like you lose so much weight, or, you know. So, because I know with me, once I started eating a lot better and cutting out carbs and wheat and all these things that were giving me allergic reactions, it's like I lost so much weight, and it wasn't like it was something I was trying to do. So, you know, I remember somebody even told me that, asked me one time when I was working at my previous job, when I lost so much weight because of the food that I changed, they asked me if I was taking crack. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You think that that's something, like, I'm dealing with my own issues. I'm feeling like a little kid because I'm mad short, and then I had no body because I lost, like, I mean, like, no body. You know, I didn't have no boobs really like that anymore, no butt. Like, everything was just so cardboard-like, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, that's what you're gonna ask me? So I can definitely understand where she's coming from and kind of relate to that. And people will say offensive stuff to you because they don't understand or they don't know. It's like you have to tell somebody your backstory in order for them to understand, you know? So, yeah, she was just saying that maybe she, like, first she kind of defended what she said. And she said that she knows these things because Evelyn told her that it was an accident when they were actually cool. You know, and Jackie, she just looked at things in a whole new perspective. Like, wow, she can't really confirm this. But if that's the case, then that's messed up. That she has everybody thinking like, oh, you know, he did this. And this man, like, literally lost his career. So, that's kind of how that played out. And she said, she did kind of say, well, maybe she went a little far with that, with saying it the way she said it. But I don't know if she's actually going to go ahead and apologize. I guess we'll see where it goes from there. Let me do some shout outs. I usually do it at the beginning, but I did notice I had a lot of comments. This is for the best. No, this is the best. Said she was crying because she got her ass caught and then think Jen was going to tell that business, but Jen was still angry at that shit Evelyn said about her in the past. Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I kind of feel like I believe her, but I don't know. Let's see. Who else? Kai Salo was like, I like that Tammy has met her match though. She's used to being #1 bully, and for the first time, someone shut her down. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense too. And let's see, Tanya James. This is a long one. I can't even see the computer from here. Let's say this. Why is everyone forgetting Evelyn started with Tammy from day one with the insults and acting like she's better than these girls? What about Evelyn saying the girl's a crackhead so that slips over everyone's head, not knowing Tammy was diagnosed with diabetes? Evelyn also said Tammy is jealous. She feels all the women is jealous. Let's not forget, this is the woman's legacy to be passed around for athletes and get pregnant so she can get the money. Good role model. Bye, girl. Yes, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I do kind of feel that way. Like, one of her things is like to make sure that whatever person that she's with that is pretty wealthy, she kind of gets pregnant by them to make sure she secures the bag, you know. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke, you know. Kanye West said it best, and I always kind of be like, yo, brother, you was right. All right, guys, but that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Make sure you comment down below. I'll try to put it towards the beginning in the next one. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you on the next one. Laters.